So to edit text is pretty easy, pretty much acts as the same way as resizing imagery. So if you ever have text that needs to be resized, always look out for these round points on the corners, or if you need to resize that additional space, you can hold Alt or Option on Mac and kind of click and drag and make the text a bit smaller. So just be mindful of what's in your text box before you resize. You can also resize the text using the incremental point slider if you ever need to change that as well. If you want to make this text box smaller, again, just hold Alt or Option. You can kind of resize it. If you need to make text bigger, you can click and drag from a point, or hold Alt and Option and do it this way as well. If you hold Shift, you'll resize from a point, similar to if you just don't hold Shift. So those are the ways that you can resize text. Say for example you've got text that you want close together, or that you need to have a bit more spaced. This option here called spacing has line spacing. So this is where you can increase and reduce that. So say for example we want a design that kind of has a bit more space or a bit less text, depending on your branding and whatnot. And you can change your anchor as well. So you can split it from the top, the middle, or the bottom. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So in this instance we'll just do it from the top. Because we've already edited it, we're just going to change it. Okay. Also, there are a few options in the toolbar, such as underline, strike through, caps. So if you've got text and you just want them all uppercase, it's a nice quick handy tool which Canva has. It's kind of handy to do that, but it won't work if your native text is lowercase. Say for example the P is native lowercase. Hit uppercase and go back, it will retain its lowercase nativity. So we're just going to make that a capital P in this instance. Okay. Say for example you've got text that needs like dot points and bullet points, for example. This is not a really good example, but if you just hit list, this is what will generate a pre-selected gap as a bullet point. So you just have to be mindful with how you're placing these if you want it. If you want to align your text, these are the ways that you can do it. So just clicking each time you want to cycle through them. If you want to bring the letters closer together, you can alternate with increasing letter spacing and doing it that way. Just a bit more like modern or futuristic if you do it that way, depending on your text as well. And then, for example, if you want to change the position of this text, this is just a general rules. You can center align it, move things behind or in front of objects based off its position. And then you can add layers here if you really want to, but I'll get into that in a different video. One last thing, if you want to edit text with an effect, say for example this text is a bit hard to read because it's in front of an image, just go effects and you can actually pick and choose effects here. If you want highlight, like a highlight effect similar to Word or PowerPoint, you can just hit background, and this is a bit more of an effective way to kind of do it if you want to do it that way. So I've just added a bit more roundedness, and then we kind of increase the spread to make it a little bit more normal. So you can kind of do that as well and give it a bit of a pop if you really want. Okay. You can also change the color of this background, so you can use colors from the document, so on and so forth. You can also curve it if you really want. It kind of looks a bit fun. It will retain its other effects in this instance as well. You can actually reduce the curve as well if you really want to. Okay, that's a cool little tool. Also there are your other options, hollow, echo, glitch and neon, but these are probably not amazing. I probably wouldn't use these all the time, but yeah, you kind of pick and choose and experiment as you wish. Okay, if you want to change your font, just hit the drop down menu. This is where you can pick and choose all of Canva's fonts. and you can kind of search up here. If you do have custom fonts that you want to upload, just click, drag, and drag them into this font window, and it will give you the prompt whether you want to upload them or not. Works similar to just your normal uploads here as well. Alright, so hopefully that gives you a bit more context into text. If you want to change a font, say for example, you can type in maybe like cursive, and then you have a range of options depending if you're on Pro or on a paid version. Okay, so for example, I'm not happy with this text, resize it. We want to bring these letters closer together, so we'll hit this. Remember that's in this drop down arrow menu, and then reduce the letter spacing. So you can kind of experiment this way with, you know, quickly editing text. It's kind of a nicer version of Illustrator, but yeah, I think there are a lot of options to create nice, simple, powerful, effective designs as well. Okay. If you want to color text, just hit this text color window here, and then you can pick and choose your colors from your defaults. If you want to use like a gradient, scroll down to the bottom. I'm pretty sure there was a way that you can use your gradients, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be in this option. No. So for example, we choose that one. Yeah, I don't think Canva had. I'm pretty sure I used a gradient in a previous design, but I don't think Canva supports that at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that's quite limiting. But yeah, all right. If you got any questions, just let me know. If you'd like some coaching, leave a comment, and I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks.